Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of the Team Venom Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Rory Bailey. This is, I say very special, this is pretty much all that I've been doing for the last couple of months, and that's where I'm going to preview a wrestling event, and then I'm going to be splicing bits in as the show goes along. So first I'm going to introduce the Elimination Chamber match, not main match, the Elimination Chamber PLE, and run down the match card, say what my predictions are, and this little introduction segment's going to pop with the preview, is going to pop up on YouTube, and then I'm going to do another little segment after every single match, so we can see if I get any of my predictions right, and the whole thing will be released as one full podcast on our usual Thursday slots. I say usual, I know we've let it slip for the last few weeks, but that's because holidays and work and all things like that. So anyway, it's WWE Elimination Chamber 2025. The match card is stacked, and I say stacked. There's only 4 matches, maybe 5 matches that are going to happen, but they're all amazing. And I say maybe 5 because there's graphics going around of LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the US Championship happening at the Elimination Chamber, which, if it is, great. I think it'll be a brilliant match. The pair of them get on really well. They have a lot of chemistry. I think, it'll be an awesome match if that happens. And I think if it is going to happen, I think that's going to be when LA Knight gets the title back. So that's prediction number 1 if it happens. One match that I'm really looking forward to is Trish Stratus returning to team with Tiffany Stratton to face Nia Jax and Candice Michelle in a tag match. I think Tiffy and Trish have got to win that because it's the 25th anniversary of Trish Stratus' debut, and that's the whole reason she's having this little comeback, and it's great. It's great to see. Trish is one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time, so I don't see any reason for her to lose, especially when she's teaming up with the current WWE Women's Champion. And obviously the WrestleMania implications of Tiffy is going off to face Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, so her losing at the Elimination Chamber wouldn't make sense. So yeah, I think that's going to happen there. The other non-chamber match that's happening is I think it's a no rules, no DQ sort of thing between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They haven't specifically said exactly what type of match it is. I know Adam Pearce did the whole thing of saying that they can't sanction it, and Sami begged him to make the match anyway. So I don't know if it's going to be an unsanctioned street fight type of match, or if it's just going to be a standard one-on-one match. Either way, it's going to be great. Sami and Kevin have tremendous chemistry. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think Sami will win because I'm going to predict that Randy Orton returns and RKO's Kevin, so that Sami picks up the win and we get Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens at Mania. I think that's what's going to happen. We'll see. And then we've got the 2 Elimination Chambers matches. First is the first one that I'm going to mention is the Women's Elimination Chamber, where it is Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Bayley, and Roxanne Perez. And I could see any of them winning to face Rhea Ripley. Obviously, Liv has the history. Alexa Bliss has just come back after a massive spell of time off. I think Alexa Bliss would be great to win that. Roxanne Perez is only 23, and her jumping from NXT to this, and then from this to a World Championship match at WrestleMania would be amazing for her career. Bayley, Naomi, and Bianca are all people that could just step straight into the Women's Championship picture as well. So yeah, I think it's either going to be Alexa Bliss or Roxanne Perez, but I could see any of the 6 winning, which is great. And basically the same thing can be said for the men's match, because the men's match is Damian Priest, Logan Paul, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, John Cena, and CM Punk. And you could convincingly make a case for every single one of those guys to win. I'm not going to. Basically, I want to see either Cena or Punk win. That's the 2 that I think it's going to come down to. I'd be happy with either of them going after Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. And speaking of Cody Rhodes, the other thing that we've got is there's going to be a huge segment between Cody Rhodes and The Rock, where we're going to see if Cody is going to become The Rock's champion and sell his soul to the final boss. I have no predictions for that because no one knows what that entails, but I just know it's going to be great and it's going to be really entertaining. So anyway, that's my preview. I'm going to take there's going to be a little bit of a breather because I'm going to watch the first match and then I'll be back on it. So, okay, so the first match of the night was the women's Elimination Chamber match, which was ridiculously good. A lot better than I expected it to be, and I had high hopes for it anyway because everyone involved in the match is great. But the way that the whole show kicked off with Naomi and Liv, and then the events after it were amazing. Because Naomi and Liv were the first two in the chamber, but before the doors could close on the chamber itself for the match to start, Jade Cargill made her return, and Liv sold it like she was going to get the crap kicked out of her by Jade. Jade went in, looked like she was going to hit Liv, but immediately made a beeline for Naomi and just absolutely beat the tar out of her. And Naomi got eliminated from the match by way of being taken out on a stretcher because of how badly Jade beat her up. So, like, slammed the chamber door on her and everything, threw her into some pods. It was a ridiculously awesome way to start the match off. So Liv Morgan then just had to wait for the next person to come out, which was Bianca Belair, who was very distracted at first because of her best friend Naomi being stretchered out and stuff. And then it was just a really good match. The rest of the competitors all got in after that point, as they do in a chamber match. And the first elimination occurred when Liv was able to eliminate Bayley. Liv and Bianca had a great spot on top of the pod where they were beating the crap out of each other. Bianca whipped Liv that much that Liv's stomach and back ended up bleeding from the whipping that Bianca gave her from her hair. Roxanne Perez had a really good showing, although she got eliminated because Liv and Bianca hit finishes on her, and then Alexa Bliss hit the Twisted Bliss and got the free count, so Perez was out that way. Bianca then got wiped out by her sister Abigail a little bit later. The sister Abigail DDT that Alexa's been doing. So that happened, and then before she could make the pin on Bianca, Liv got the cheeky roll up and eliminated Alexa, and it was awesome. There were some great spots then between the pair of them, because as we were down to just Bianca and Liv, and ultimately Bianca ended up picking up the win after a bunch of false finishes and a KOD to finish it. And then afterwards, Bianca walked up to the stage. Rhea Ripley came out to stare her down, and then Io Sky came out, because Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley is going to happen on Raw this week for the Women's Championship. So obviously the winner of that will be facing Bianca at WrestleMania. But yeah, it was a great match. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm not sure how any of the other matches are going to be able to top it. To be honest, it was really good. Okay, so the second match of the evening was Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus going after the team of Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. It was a great little match. Trish had a really great comeback. One of the things that I was very surprised with was that Trish did the thing of playing the face in peril, which was great until she got the hot tag to Tiffy, and Tiffy just looked like she belonged there, which is great, and that's exactly what should be happening with an up and coming women's champion. So it was a great match. In the end, Tiffy won with the prettiest moonsault ever on Nia Jax, and the match was exactly what it should have been, which was the women's champion and the legend Trish Stratus picking up the victory. So yeah, it was great. I can't say anything negative about it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The third match of the evening was Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, and it was brutal. It was every bit as intense and physical as everyone expected it to be. It was an unsanctioned match. There were some great table spots, there were some great crowd spots. There was some really hard to watch moments involving Sami Zayn's neck. It's just such a great match, to be fair. It's one of the best street fight matches I've seen. I know they went very spot heavy. Kevin Owens picked up the win after repeated power bombs to the apron, but prior to that, he'd been hit with a haluva kick. He'd been hit with a chair that was wrapped in barbed wire multiple times. He was just really good. And basically, it was great. We saw referees get knocked out, and afterwards, you got all the security sort of trying to escort Owen. Well, I say security, like I think they're probably on like that WWE Evolve or something like that. They're all trying to escort Owens to the back, and he just started beating the tar out of all of those, and then peeled back the mats and everything to just inflict more damage on Zayn, and it's just such a good match. There's so much that happened. It was a really long match as well, but yeah, it's probably like the best match the two of them have had with each other. But there was one of the things that I did predict and I did get right was that Randy Orton did make his comeback, sort of. So as Owens was about to beat Sami Zayn more, or after the match, after he pulled the bit of the mat away so that there's got the exposed concrete, Orton's music hit, and the Viper's back. Now Orton, rather amusingly, for saying that it's not scheduled for a match, hasn't been on TV in a long time, made his comeback in his wrestling gear. So it's one of the things that always amuses me about Randy Orton. But I also appreciate it because he basically, even if he's not working a match or anything like that, he's always in his gear for his promos. Orton's got that larger than life sort of persona. It was just so good, so good. So yeah, it's just a really great match. I highly recommend everyone go out of the way to see it. Obviously, I'm pretty sure you can tell by my voice that I am knackered because my voice is going. I'm very, very tired. But this, so great. And yeah, Orton and Owens went straight into it after the match. I do think Orton Owens is a really good matchup for WrestleMania. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. Yeah. And obviously the Toronto crowd got to see Orton hit an RKO on Kevin Owens at the end of the match as well, which was cool. It's just brilliant. I can't fault any of this whatsoever. Yeah, it was just a brilliant match, and the after stuff, the Orton return. The only negative I'd say is Orton should have probably came out in the match to try and save Sami, I guess. But at the same time, Orton's probably the sort of person that would respect someone's wishes to get the job done on their own. But yeah, it was just so good. So good. So I'm assuming we've got the Elimination Chamber match or the Rock Cody Rhodes thing next. So yeah. Okay, so main event time, which is the men's Elimination Chamber match. I'm going to gloss over the events of the actual match itself because it was a really good chamber match. It was... I predicted correctly that John Cena won. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed the whole show. But afterwards we got the Rock Cody thing, and that sort of dominated because we had such a shocking event happen. In that Cody told The Rock to go fuck himself about the whole selling his soul thing after he just had like an embrace with Cena because Cena had won the chamber and the pair of them had like shook hands, hugged and all that sort of thing. So Cody told The Rock to go and fuck himself. He got Cena stood there seemingly cheering him on, and Cena for the first time since 2003 turned heel, which just blew my mind. So Cena turned heel, beat the shit out of Cody Rhodes. And Travis Scott was also there. And so The Rock's got his weightlifting belt, which says Cody's soul on it. That's now covered in Cody's blood, because they just brutally beat him. It was amazing, genuinely amazing to see. Yeah, I'm just shocked, and which is the point of doing these things live. But my brain can't sort of comprehend what had happened in the chamber match, because the post-match angle was so amazingly fantastic that it's just sort of, yeah. I mean, there was a point like a decade or so ago where it looked like Cena was never going to turn heel because of his status with the company, and the fact that he actually has now in his final year, which is sort of unthinkable. It's amazing. Oh man, I can't wait for WrestleMania. Anyway, thank you everyone for listening. Please remember to like, subscribe, all that jazz. The aim is to have at least one episode of the Team Venom Wrestling podcast out every week. Myself and my buddy Connor Franks are going to hopefully be getting back to recording more content soon. The sole reason we've not been doing these things together for a while is purely down to timing, scheduling conflicts. I recently went away for a bit, and yeah, but we are hoping to get everything back to normal soon. So yeah, again, thank you for listening, and see you all next time.